everyone, welcome back to our weekly Ants Life training call. We have just a few more weeks left in April, just a couple more weeks left to our Act Like a Leader, Think Like a Mogul series that we're doing as a group. Our topic of this discussion has been Act Like a Leader, Think Like a Mogul for the last month or so. So this week, I think we've only have 2 more weeks left in April, so just a little while longer for us to work on this topic of discussion. But I think it's been going well so far. I've been learning and growing myself, and you guys have been giving some good feedback, so I am excited to have you all here with me. Now, bear with me, my what do you call it, cell phone holder display is not cooperating today. I should just leave it alone before it breaks again, right? All right, guys, so you guys know the drill. I'm going to give everyone a couple of minutes to get onto the live stream, and we are going to start off with our wins. So let's see what you guys have been completing, what you've been working on between last week and this week, what new awesome endeavors you've been up to, what's been happening in your life, what's got you excited, what things you've been getting out there and overcoming, and share in the chat box below. I'm just going to give everyone, we're starting to build a bit of an audience, so let's see who we have here tonight. Give you all a minute to get logged in. I know it's also Easter week, and I believe Passover as well. So I know this week a lot of people are running around doing their last minute shopping, picking out their Easter wear. I just got the dress that I purchased for Easter in today, so I will be sharing that with you guys. So well, not tonight, but I will probably do a YouTube video on it. And if you guys can tell, this little area here on my makeup table, there's a bit of jewelry there just piled up. I'll be doing a whole video hopefully this weekend, because it's a long weekend, so I have a lot of time to catch up on things that I haven't been able to get caught up on. But I really need to pick up the slack on my YouTube videos. I've been slacking off on the blog and on the YouTube, so hopefully this weekend I'll be able to catch up. Doing a little bit of a internal renovation here in the Haynes household, so it's been a little bit crazy. And plus some other goals that I mentioned in the beginning of the year are, you know, it's now starting to get to the wire. But speaking of getting down to the wire, talk about this new Vacation Like a Boss incentives going to Atlantis, Bahamas. I see you guys have been tracking and sharing your percentages. I keep forgetting to screenshot the tracking on Vibe. I think I'm still at 69%. I'm waiting for the update. I'm hoping tomorrow it'll update and I can get to see what progress I've made and see if I've at least earned the first trip so far. But I'm hoping to earn both of them. I did have a period where I was just like, oh man, we are really getting down to the end here. But then I was like, you know what? 11:59 p.m. on the last day of the incentive, I will still be on the phone reaching out to the pending representatives, reaching out to people to get started with their business since they've been, you know, talking about doing it. I mean, now is a really great time to join. We have such great stuff coming out. Mother's Day is on its way in. So we have some amazing stuff, some exciting new jewelry, new fashion. You guys know I am all about the jewelry and fashion. So I am excited to see what new things we're coming out with. And I have to tell you, I'm loving it all. I've always been big on fashion and fragrance, but now this is starting to be, I mean, I opened the book and I'm like, there's so many new things. There's so much. Usually it's like, okay, I'm looking forward to 1 or 2 products, but I can't even decide what I want to purchase. And I know my customers are excited because they're like, oh my gosh, Avon is really stepping up its game and really starting to share a lot of great products. But it's always exciting to see I like spring. I feel like spring is, it's in the world is the time of renewal, but it's also in our business where we start to change. I like spring, and I like the transition, yeah, from spring to summer, and I like the transition from Christmas, I guess, from summer to winter, where we start to bring out the Christmas items. But this year, I'm really liking the spring collection as well. So I'm liking the transition from winter to spring this time, because I feel like there's just so much fresh product, the jewelry, the fashion, the shoes. I need to, Michael Senstack, if you're watching, can I have some rain boots? I just destroyed mine that I've had for years. I had that pair of Avon rain boots with the little like handles at the side. I've had them for years, and those were my go-to rain boots. Everybody loves them. I always get compliments on them, but I'm sort of kind of wearing through them, so I need new boots. Michael Senstack, can we have new boots? So let's see what we have. So this week, as I said, you guys get started with your wins for the week in the chat box below so that we can all celebrate with you. But I do want to celebrate first the kickstart, sorry, not the kickstart, the incentive to Vacation Like a Boss. I am really excited about that trip, and I'm really hoping that I could at least, at the very least, earn a trip for one, but I really love to earn a trip for two, you know, of course. One of the benefits of this trip is that not only are you going away for 4 days, all expenses paid by Avon, but if you can't leave the country, you can also opt for the cash. So I was really disappointed when I heard a lot of people were like, oh, you know, I can't travel, so I'm not going to do it. And I heard a lot of people who were just like, oh, you know, I'm just not going to make it. I'm not going to do it. And it was really sad to me, because I was like, there's so many people we talk about on this live stream. We always talk about taking yourself out of the running, and, you know, not even giving yourself a chance, and how your own personal negative talk can, you know, take away from what's possible for you. You know, you don't even give yourself a try to see what you can accomplish, to give yourself the opportunity to surprise yourself. And I was kind of disappointed at how many people from the beginning were just like, no, I'm not going to do this. And I think this is such an exciting trip. In all my years with Avon, I've never seen them do anything like this. And, you know, it's an opportunity to go overseas. Usually Avon, hey, Miss Myra, how are you? Welcome to the chat. Did I greet everyone? Hey, Miss Teresa, how are you? Chris and Melissa, thank you guys for joining. And Miss Kathleen, welcome. So, sorry about that. How rude of me, right? So, I'm just really excited and pumped about this incentive, because I've never seen anything like this, and it's such a great opportunity. I mean, even if you can't physically go, whether it's work or family, you can at least get the cash. And who doesn't need extra cash in their life? That's why we're all in this business, right? To make extra money. So, you know, why not even go for it? And I always say, at the very, very least, with these recruiting incentives, you are growing your business. So you're using it as the extra push to just motivate yourself to go out there and speak to new people and promote your business, and, you know, start tracking and learn how to track for incentives. Because, yeah, maybe you may not make it for this incentive, you know, scary worst case scenario, you don't make it. But with let's say level 1, let's say you are trying to recruit 8 people on your own, and let's say you only recruit 4, that's still 4 new people on your team. If you're a brand new rep who's here for less than 6 campaigns, that's an extra $200 in your pocket, plus commission for building your team. And if all of you make the incentive for the Kickstart bonus, where you're having team sales of over $1,000, that's another extra, I think, $500 in your pocket for the Kickstart bonus. So, like, there's just cash that's being given away, and we're just, you know, there are just some people who are like, no, I'm not going to do it. It's too much. It's scary. And yeah, sometimes today I was talking to a friend of mine, a customer, and I was like, yeah, it's this kind of some anxiety and tension. It's a little bit, not nerve-wracking, but, you know, you feel that, oh my gosh, it's like, I want to make it. It's like, you know, when you're in a relay race, the first, second, and third person have gone, and now you're down to the last person, and you're kind of like, you know, edge of your seat. I'm Jamaican, so in the Olympics, we're always like, I always feel like torn between US and Jamaica. I want at least one of them to win gold. Leaning towards Jamaica, sorry. But, you know, there's always that, you know, edge of your seat moment, and with these incentives, you kind of have that edge of your seat, like, kind of feeling for 2 or 3 weeks. So it's intense, but you know, in a way where I'm not like, okay, I'm stressed, I'm pulling out my hair. It's like I'm stressed, but I want to see what happens, and I'm kind of excited and kind of nervous at the same time. So it's kind of a pet peeve of mine that I kind of wanted to share. I'm not here to reprimand people. I know people do things for different reasons, but I just kind of felt saddened by that, and I just wanted to I plan to be encouraging. I don't know if that came off as encouraging, but I just felt like I wish more people even tried for it, even if, you know, not everyone makes it, fine, but just to see people trying and striving for it, I think, you know, I like to see that. I like to see people posting their tracking. I like to see people asking questions and commenting and saying they're working on it and they're going for it, because I know that no matter what, they're still building their business. They're still getting closer to their goals. They're still doing the personal development and the self-improvement. They're learning how to track for incentives. They're learning how to follow incentives and, you know, figure out the FAQs and the requirements and plan and set goals. And that is something that, you know, whether win or lose, no matter what, it just can't be taken away from you. So you just have to, hopefully for the next incentive, I hope more people look at it and they don't tell themselves that they're not going to do it, that they try, and they don't try with the, okay, yeah, I'm going to try, I'll do it, whatever. If you want me to, I'll give it a shot. But like, okay, I'm going to track and I'm going to do my best every campaign to hit my goals and, you know, see if I can get there and really push as hard as I can and, you know, shoot for the moon and fall among the stars, if anything, at the very least. So that's kind of a bit of where my mind was at this moment. But, you know, I used to do that too. I went through my notes and I shared with you guys the other day. I found like one of my first invoices. I kept it just to say, you know, this is my first order. This is what I sold my first campaign. And I found it the other day. And on one of the things in the, you know how Avon lists some of the incentives or your tracking, your President's Club, whatever notes on the side of the invoice, it was an incentive. And I remember like looking at the words, I remember the feeling in my head where I was just like, oh, you're not going to make that. And I remember feeling for a long time watching, you know, the big names that we all know, you know, the top sellers competing and winning and earning these incentives. Other people in my district who we knew were top sellers. And I watched them and I told myself, you know, those people are special circumstances. Those people can make it because, you know, reason X, Y, Z or whatever. And I didn't try myself. And looking back, I kind of regret that feeling. I think that's why I'm so like, guys, really try this, because I feel like I've been where you are, and I talk myself out of trying for a lot of stuff, and I realized that I missed out on even the possibility of accomplishing things even way back then that I, you know, I mean, the things that I'm doing now, I never, ever in my wildest dreams imagined that I would be doing, but it doesn't come from, yeah, no, I'm not going to try that because that's not for me. You know, I'll never get picked for that. I'll never participate in that. I'm not that kind of person. Oh, you know, I'm too shy. I'm too outgoing. I'm too tall, skinny, you know, whatever. You just can't talk yourself out of these things. So hopefully that will be some encouragement for you guys so that you can just try to push through on the next incentive. Hey Hope, welcome to the chat. Miss Joan, hi, how are you? Miss Colleen, welcome. Miss Melissa says her first leadership check was $1.80. There was an incentive to double it and she did it. So she got another $1.80 and she loves telling about it. I love that too, because that's extra money. Like, I don't care how much it is. If someone is giving you cash, you know, when you're in the supermarket and you need, you know, some extra change, whatever it is, it's extra money. I always tell my customers, sometimes they're like, oh, you know, do you take change? Or, crap, I only have pennies. I don't have a nickel. Is that okay? I'm like, it's money. I don't care. You can count out the $2 in pennies. I will take that to the bank. As long as it's real pennies and not that Canadian stuff, we'll make it work. So thank you for sharing, Melissa. That is encouraging because I'm pretty sure your checks are like, multiples of that now. And when you talk about that, it's so encouraging to other people who, their checks might look at like that right now. And they might feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not making any money, or it's not enough to pay the light bill, or it's not enough to put food on the table or pay for the Pampers or whatever it is that they joined for. And before they say to themselves, okay, I'm going to quit because this is just not working, they can say, okay, I want to be like Melissa. She started here too. So now I'm pretty sure Melissa's checks are bigger than mine, but they could look at you and say, okay, Melissa started here, or even say, okay, Melissa started lower than where I am. So let me keep working and eventually I'll be where Melissa is and I'll get that motivation. I draw motivation from that too. When I first started, I also had very small checks. I have to look for my first one. I think, I can't remember. I have to look. I saved them though. But I saved them because my district manager showed me, back then we didn't really have Facebook like we do now, but my district manager had a cutout of another representative who was very successful. I think they were a senior at the time. I can't remember their name though, but she was like, this person's first check was about $60. And she was like, you're in good company. And I was like, yeah, I am. That wasn't, it's not the amount of money that I wanted to see. I swear it was maybe $20. But I was like, it's not the kind of money I wanted to see, but this is lunch money for a week. That's money that I didn't have to get from anywhere else. So I was just as excited about it, and I kept it, and I was proud about it because this is money that I earned on my own. So yeah, Melissa, every little bit counts, and it wouldn't have come if you hadn't have been trying for it. Hey, Miss Anitra, welcome. Miss Colleen says she didn't make Atlantis. Miss Colleen, do not give up because your RPS may be closed. Maybe you didn't make it, but still keep going for the recruits for two reasons. One, because people who are placing orders in campaign 9, if they're RPS 10 and their order goes in way at the end of April, they will still count towards your trip. So you can still make it. It's other people's orders. It's not your campaign. So maybe you're super far. Keep, pound the pavement, get the calls. That's kind of where I am. I feel like I'm really far, but I'm like, I just can't give up. What I tell myself is that I'm going to go down fighting. If I lose this thing, I am going to know that I worked up to the minute, the very last second that I could. Just reaching out and doing the best that I can, because at the very least, Miss Colleen, even if you don't earn the Atlantis trip within this time frame that they've given, the contacts that you make, the pending representatives that you develop, the practice that you get in speaking to people, the experience of you connecting with your team and working with them to help them create their first successful Kickstart order. The motivation and success and encouragement that you instill in them is going to help you build a stronger team later on. It's going to boost their confidence. There's so much good that comes out of it. So even if you fall short of the Atlantis incentive, which is this short time frame, the benefits and payoffs extend so much further beyond. So go down kicking and screaming. Like, go out. I always say, have you guys seen Medea? I think it's Medea's family reunion, where the Popo comes to get her, and Medea's a man, so a tall guy, so she's huge, but the police go to drag her and she just does dead drop, just face forward flat, and they have to drag her big self. I always joke and say, if I'm ever getting kidnapped, sometimes you watch movies and they're kidnapping people and the person being kidnapped is running along with the kidnapper. I'm like, no, that's not me. You want to kidnap me, be prepared to drag everything. Dead weight, just it's on me. So go out like dead weight, just fight all the way through. Resist. Don't accept failure until your form says incentive closed. All of your pending reps say, no more pending, incentive time frame over for all of your pending reps, and we're all talking, and Avon is giving out the official announcement that the incentive is over. Just go out fighting. So Ms. Melissa says her checks are way bigger. So that is awesome encouragement. Thanks, Miss Melissa. Hey, Miss Angela, welcome. Oh, I also want to congratulate Miss Angela. I don't know if I did on the last call, but Miss Angela was our most recent earner of our Fab 400 box. Sorry, Miss Angela, I am shouting out your wins for the week, but I'm still scrolling. Maybe you'll type it in the chat box. Yeah, Miss Melissa says, don't give up. It's not over till it's over. Colleen says she called leadership and said it had to be in by the end of 9. Yes, but it depends. Your 9, it may be over, but your recruits 9 may not be over. So if you still have pending reps who are in like for example, for me, I'm RPS 7. My 9 doesn't go in until Thursday. So RPS 7, 8, 9, and 10, those are all RPSs that are still open. And even after, there's a distinction that I kind of had to learn when I was tracking for incentives. It's the RPSs. Each area is in a different representative processing schedule. Some people's orders go in on Monday, some go in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But because Avon is on a 2-week schedule, there are 2 tiers. So, for example, RPS 1 through maybe 5 go in that first week. And then RPS 6 through 7 go in the second week. And then there's a little bit of overlap between RPS 9 and 10 and RPS, I think, 1 and 2. So be aware of the RPSs and what areas are what RPSs. When I first started, I think it was the Keurig incentive, I had a map, like a physical map of my city, and I blocked out what areas were in different RPSs. So as I got to the deadline towards the end of my incentive, I was just moving my recruiting events to follow the RPSs. So I was in RPS 8, I was in RPS 9, I was in RPS 10, just trying to get the incentive. Now, I may not win the ultimate grand supreme of this competition, but you better bet that I will never take anything that I get out of this as a loss. And I say that just because, sort of as a disclaimer, but I've been trying to just not even say, okay, if I don't win, because I don't want to put that in my brain. I'm just like, I'm going to get this, I'm going to work for it, I'm going to earn it, I'm trying. I keep telling people I'm trying. They're asking, how are you doing? I'm trying. Miss Melissa shares a tip with us. She says, if you get a last minute appointment, they can't place an order the day they join. It's the next day. Okay, great tip, Miss Melissa. Thank you. That's something to watch out for. So try to watch those RPSs and watch the deadlines for each campaign, because if you sign up a person, what Miss Melissa is saying is, if you sign up a person, let's say the deadline is, I think maybe, let's just say April 25th. If a person signs up on April 25th, they can't submit their order until April 26th. So even though they're in before the end of the deadline, their order isn't in before the end of the deadline, so they won't count. So just be mindful of that. Miss Colleen says she loves leadership. She's not quitting. No way. Awesome, Miss Colleen. Great attitude. Miss Myra says she may not have recruited anyone or representatives, but she's truly not giving up on her goals. Absolutely, Miss Myra. And we talk about leadership and the leadership program of Avon, because I do feel like being a leader, it's not just recruiting. I think you're a leader if you're a top seller as well. I know recruiting and building a team isn't for everyone, even though I think it's the best and most, I can't think of the word, most, not lucrative, not profitable, most effective way of building your earnings. But at the same time, I know it's not for everyone, and that's fine. But Miss Myra, even if you haven't recruited yet, or if you haven't recruited anyone within the incentive time frame, just like you said, just keep pushing towards your goals. And it doesn't mean, not having recruited doesn't make you any less of a leader. So, yeah, don't give up. Okay, so let's see how we're doing on time. I still need to see some wins for the week for you guys. Let me see what you guys are celebrating. Oh, I was digging in my stuff to show you guys some of the things I got. So, if you watched the video before this video, I did a really quick on-location recap of the leadership training that they're doing in different cities across the U.S. And I have to tell you, I loved, with a capital L, matter of fact, capital all letters, but this Boss Life Workshop. It's a Boss Life Workshop. It's a multi-city tour. if you haven't, and if your event is not sold out, just go and register. Get off of this video. It'll be live and recorded and posted on YouTube, on my YouTube channel a little bit later on. Go register now, or open another window and listen to me talk while you go register. But this leadership workshop was unlike any that I have ever been to. And I keep saying I don't want to give you the details before to, you know, make it any less impactful. Because, you know, when you watch the movie trailers and you see all the good stuff, when you're actually there, you're like, okay, yeah, I saw that already. Oh, yeah, I knew that was coming. So I don't want to give away any spoilers, but it was so good. I felt refreshed, re-energized. I learned so much. I loved hearing the stories of other successful representatives that were there. I took pages. Like, this is my notebook. Like, thick, tiny writing worth of notes. I really went in at the notes. I mean, it's different in every city, but we had practice. We practiced the verbiage of what we're saying when we're out in the field. We got sales tips. There was a special incentive just for the people who were there at the event, and it wasn't a purchase incentive. It was an added bonus on top of another incentive that Avon has that's only going to be available to the people who are at the Boss Life workshop. I wish I could. I was telling my friend who was also in attendance that I'm just going to be regurgitating all the stuff that I learned there, and it's going to come out in like little short sentences in my speak. But like my biggest takeaway was just getting out of your own way, because we get in our own minds. We just, you know, and that for me was one of the biggest takeaways. Just not letting yourself stop you from accomplishing the things that you need to accomplish. And the momentum, you know, the benefits of your actions, how important the actions you take are to your business, and what you do gives you the results you're looking for. But also what you don't do gives you the results that you have. So if you're not seeing the growth in your business, then you have to change your actions. Einstein, I think it's Einstein, says, you know, there's equal and opposite reaction. So if you're not doing anything, nothing's going to happen. But if you're working hard, and we always talk about your SMART goals. But if you're working hard and you're really going for and attacking those goals, you will see results. It doesn't happen right away. It's like weight loss. But, you know, after a year, after 5 years, after 10 years, you're looking fit and slim and trim, and your health is doing well. It's the same way in your business. But you have to be in it for the long haul. You have to work this business. But I'm not going to, tonight's topic of discussion was not to give you those notes. But I did want to celebrate. After you finish, you get a certificate of completion. So I will be keeping this. Whenever we do Avon incentives, Avon trainings, and they give us certificates, I keep them in a little notebook because that's, you know, personal development. It's important. But they also had a raffle, and I was a winner. They gave away so much stuff. Lots and lots of stuff. I mean, it was a relatively small meeting for what it was. You know, sometimes they do these rallies and they're kind of huge, but they gave away a lot of stuff. So let me show you some of the things I got. These are all new products that are coming out. I see some comments. Hang on. Melissa says she thinks, to follow up on what she was saying before about the RPSs and their orders. Melissa says she thinks they can place orders up to 3 days after the RPS order date and still count. She had RPS 4 join yesterday, and she showed on the tracking report today saying place a $150 order and pay on time. That's also an interesting tip too. Thank you, Miss Melissa. Colleen says her win is that she made top 5 in sales for the first time in her district. Awesome, Colleen. Congratulations. For those of you guys who don't know, on youravon.com, on the far right-hand side, there's a link. I believe it's the very last link that says My District. And then if you go in, there's like a sub-tab at the top again. So it has My District, calendar dates, different things. If you go in there, you can see how you're tracking in your district. So a lot of you are actually doing well, and you're tracking within your district. Your districts are your small local areas. So when I say small, we're still talking 300 to 500, sometimes more, 700 representatives in that area. So to make that list is a big deal. So congratulations to you, Miss Colleen. Top 5 for sales in the first time in her district. Congratulations. Hope says Baltimore has been sold out. Ah, dang. Hope, I would still email them. They might have a waiting list. See if you can get on the waiting list. What they did for mine was they took the list, and then a few days before the event, they sent an email out asking people to re-RSVP. So if you slacking on your email, you missed it. Or if you're, things happen. Sometimes you just can't make it. Then they were able to fill that slot. So Hope, try and see if you can get on the Baltimore waiting list. Reading some congratulations for Colleen. Let's see. Hope says that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And she gave us a link. She's so efficient. Thank you, Miss Hope. Yeah, I think about that because sometimes you're talking to people and they're like, it's the same problem. There's no movement, no developing. And I'm like, okay, well, what are we doing? And it's always the same thing. And I'm like, well, why are you expecting something different to happen? And I do this in my own life. There are stuff that I'm supposed to be doing that I don't do, like exercise. So when I don't see the results, I know. So be the same way in your business. Anyway, thanks for sharing, Hope. And thank you, you guys, for sharing your wins. So here's some of the stuff that I received in my packet. I got the Planet Spa Blissfully Nourishing with Shea Butter body scrub. I love a body scrub, especially now that spring and summer are coming and you kind of want to give yourself that glow, kind of slough off all of the old dead skin. This Planet Spa stuff is good. And I will tell you, when I'm in the field, I get a lot of customers asking me for the Shea Butter version of the Planet Spa. It's hey, Miss Milagros, thanks for joining. But the Shea Butter is actually really popular. So let your customers know that it's back. I don't remember how long ago they had it, but I do remember when I first started, they had the Shea Butter. So it's back, and I got the scrub. I also got a bottle of the Absolute, the newest version of our Today Tomorrow Always. And I was I'll be honest with you, I was hesitant about opening it. I was thinking, maybe I'll give it away, raffle it off, but it's not a, it's a parfum. So it's more oil. So you'll get a stronger fragrance and you could use a lot less of it. Because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's a tiny box, little. And then I was like, oh, it's a parfum. So it's really, really potent. So let's see if I can open it without making a disaster. All right. Let me tell you what I think. So here it is. Oh, even before I opened it, like as soon as I took the plastic off, it was like, wow. So this smells really good. Yeah, the whole box just smells amazing. So this is a cute little bottle. So those of you who are around when Salma Hayek was doing the Today Tomorrow Always series, this looks like it's the same kind of bottle as I believe it was Tomorrow from maybe the Tomorrow the Today, I can't remember. It looks just like that same shape bottle. It's teeny tiny and oh so cute. And I'm not even gonna spray it because I can smell how good it smells. It smells familiar, but it's sort of floral. What's it supposed to be? Jasmine? I have to read the what's new and tell you. We were talking about it last week. I believe it was jasmine. Nope, it's bergamot, orange flower, absolute, and sandalwood. Okay, that's why I like it. I tend to like woodsy sort of fragrances, the ones that aren't too floral but kind of have a heavier cologne kind of fragrance. So those of you guys, try it out. I got a free one. Go to your events, you get free stuff. I also received this watch. I think it's really cute. It's the Love Mom and Nana watch. It's the dial, I don't know if you can see it. Okay, the dial is hearts. I love you, Mom. It's really cute. I love that. Don't you guys? Isn't that adorable? So the numbers are I love you, Mom. I think that's really creative. So good job on Avon. And it kind of has like an iridescent, like pink pearl kind of strap. So it's sort of feminine-y. Feminine-y, that's not a word. It's really feminine. But you know how for Easter we tend to like, I don't know if you could see, it kind of has a sheen. There we go. You guys see that color? It's kind of opalescent. You know, for Easter we tend to go for the pastels and those types of colors. So this is a cute watch because now we're going to spring. We like that, you know, pinky, turquoisey sort of colors. So thank you, Avon, for my freebies. I love going to these events and getting free stuff. Sometimes you don't always win, but it always is good to win. And of course, the mouse has got to be in the house, so you got to be there to win it. All right, so hey, Victoria, how are you? Thanks for joining in. Colleen says she loves the Absolute. It smells like rare pearls. It does smell like familiar. I definitely did, but I couldn't place it. So you're saying it smells like rare pearls. Okay, good to know. So it's like a stronger version of rare pearls. I do have a couple of customers who do like rare pearls, so I will be sharing that with them. All right, so let's get into our discussion. So as you guys know, and as I mentioned earlier in our chat, we are actually continuing with our series, Act Like a Leader, Think Like a Mogul. It's a series we started back in April, and we've been continuing it through March because there's just so much stuff to talk about. And, you know, it's kind of interesting how people think. So I spent this week reading about different people who are moguls. You can Google business moguls and see. We've got people like Oprah. A lot of the people, I got stuck on Oprah, but millionaires. There was one family, I should have written down their name, but it's like they own so much. It's like a grandfather, a brother, a wife that was married to a person, he passed away and left it all to her. But this family holds like a multi-billion-dollar industries, because they're all in different fields. And I was kind of reading, I like to read about people's stories. I really love Success Magazine. I love entrepreneur.com. I like to read about the people who are where I would eventually like to be. And, you know, not saying that I want to be the next Oprah, but not saying I don't want to be either. But I always like to read their stories about how they got to where they were, the things that they did. And a couple of things popped out at me when I was reading about different people's lives and their histories. And I want to sort of share those with you tonight and tie it back into us and our business. So I decided to come up with a theme for tonight's discussion as mogul mindset, because for each person, the thing that I kind of focused on was how they came into their money. So there's that woman that I mentioned, she married into it, and when the husband passed on, she inherited it, she took it over. But in her example, even in that situation, you've still got to be able to manage a business. You still have to educate yourself and be able to, you know, pick up on, you know, replace that person who's missing, you know, to pick up what he left off and lead. And your company has to respect you and trust your leadership, or else they would probably vote you out and take it away from you. So I was reading about her and I was like, wow, you know, she, maybe she wasn't born into it, but she's still managing it right now. And I thought, okay, one of the first things that I would add to my list of mogul mindset, some of the things that, you know, I would have on my mogul to be list, is to attain knowledge, because you have to be knowledgeable. You just have to know your industry. You have to know the economy. You have to know how to react, how to do business, how to speak, how to present yourself. There's a lot of information that you have to have and be knowledgeable of. So you constantly have to be educating yourself. And we always talk about personal development in this call. Malagos and I are always talking about personal development. I always try to encourage my team to do personal development and, you know, get involved. And I just, one of the things I just realized was that, you know, these people are knowledgeable. Very few of them are, and I still can't, I couldn't think of anyone who's a dingbat who just came into it and managed to keep it. They always have to find something that they can work with, you know? So I would say, you know, first and foremost, you have to be knowledgeable. You have to educate yourself and grow into the position. Even if you're not born into it, you have to work to get into that position. So, excuse me, I need tea. That was the first thing that kind of popped out to me. The second thing was, each of them looked at their surroundings, discovered a need, and found a niche. So, we have like Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook. The need was for people to keep in touch, and originally, some of you may not remember, but Facebook was originally just for college students. It was just a way for students to keep in touch and communicate and stuff like that. And then it grew. And now Facebook is an industry where there's advertising and there's businesses and marketing, but it wasn't originally that. It grew into that. And I know now we forget because we use Facebook to promote our businesses, but really and truly Facebook wasn't just for promoting businesses, which is why I always encourage you guys, when you're promoting your business on your Facebook, to do more than just say, buy my Avon, 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 buy my Avon. I join Avon, buy my Avon, buy my, you know, share about yourself, share about your lifestyle, connect with others and communicate with other people, because it becomes, it's social media, you know, it's not advertising 101, you know? So, I was thinking about Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook. There was another gentleman I was reading about, where he created, an IT department, IT business, and now he's the leading IT company. I wish I had written down names for you guys, but I'm bad with names. My brain latches onto stories. So I could tell you their life stories, but not their names. There was another person who, you know, everyone I was reading, it was just, they saw something that the world needed, and they made it or did it. And I thought about us with our business. It's the same thing. We provide a service. We provide people with beauty and skincare, home goods, home decoration items. We provide the service to them. And we also provide the opportunity for people to grow and improve their lives. And thinking about that, even as I'm talking to you, one of the things that we were talking about in our Boss Life workshop was that when you sell the products, we're doing more than just, you know, exchanging the product for the money. When we sell skincare and beauty and home apparel, so we're helping a person's house look nice. Have you ever woken up in like a gross atmosphere? I know when my room is dirty, I can't sleep. When I wake up, even before I open my eyes, I'm like, ugh, there's a pile of clothes out there. You have to go get that. It can't stay. But it changes my mindset. When I feel good about the clothes I'm wearing and about my face, you know, sometimes I'm not happy with my skin, and it affects my demeanor and my attitude. But when I'm happy about my skin and when I'm feeling confident about my appearance, I change the way I act. I act with more confidence. I am, you know, not hiding my face. Have you ever cut yourself in like a weird position, and you know, you have your hat down to here, or you have your sunglasses? One day I nicked my eyebrow, and it was like a weird Scarface kind of nick. I don't know if you could still see it. My eyebrow is forever misshapen, but with the scab there, I didn't like it. So it was hats and, you know, those big bug sunglasses, and tons and tons of concealer. So, but it affected my behavior. I didn't want to talk to anybody. If I did, I was doing one of these, like, yeah, whatever, okay, we can because I was trying to hide that side of my face. But it affected, you know, how I was interacting with other people. And when you're confident, you do better, and you excel further, and you go out and you do more, and that confidence breeds success, and your success connects to how much you're earning, because if you're successful and you're doing well in your company, there will be raises, and there will be promotions, and there will be connections. So it's so much more than, you know, here, money for product. There's so much more that comes with it. So we are helping people. We are empowering. Like, this really is beauty for a purpose. It's not just an Avon slogan, and it's not just talking about the Avon opportunity. It's the opportunity that we provide for our customers as well. We are helping them to be more, feel good about themselves, so that they can go out and do good and do great and start to see the results of that in their life and in their family's life and in their community's life. So there's such a bigger picture. And that was also one of my aha moments when we were at this event, because I was just like, oh my gosh, yes, we are selling more than just beauty. We're empowering people to affect their families and their lifestyles. Here it is. Okay, so one of the notes I had was that we're selling happiness and success because we help people. If they look good, they feel better. If they feel better, they do better. If they do better, they feel happier. And when you're happier, it also increases your likeliness to be more successful. We always say, if you love what you do, you're going to excel at it, right? So why not help people to be happy? And as Craig, I believe it was Craig Kushner, he was our presenter for the event. As he was going through, I was just like, wow, it is so much more than just a lip gloss. It's so much more than concealer. You guys know I have acne, and I have the scars and everything. And it's been something that I struggle with, and now I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, it is what it is. If you don't like my face, you don't have to talk to me. But there are times where I, you know, cake on the concealer because I don't want to deal with, you know, people's reactions. And one of the things was that sometimes a person will look at you, a friend will come and they'll say something like, instead of hi, how are you, they'll just be like, oh, you're breaking out. And I'm like, yeah, everything behind my skin is here too. I'm doing fine. My life is good. My family is good. Like, is this skin all you see? Can we get past that and have an actual conversation now? But when I'm going out and I'm like, I don't have on makeup and I know I have a breakout, sometimes I'm super self-conscious about it, and it does affect my behavior. And sometimes I don't want to go out because of what I have. And, you know, us as representatives, we are providing the beauty and the skincare products to help that and, you know, help people not have to go through that. So as representatives, we have filled that niche that our customers have, to get the products, to work with a person. A lot of people just don't want to buy from someone they don't know. They want to have a relationship. Even if they're ordering online, a lot of my customers will still order online, but we talk. We are providing relationships. Today on the Onward group, I was reading about a representative who was sharing about her friendship with her customer, about, you know, how she helps that customer. And I was like, wow, this is so much more than just, here's the product, here's the money. It's more than that. We're not cashiers at a register in some random store somewhere that, you know, will not be there when that customer comes back. When they shop with us, they shop with us. So we are providing the things that people are looking for, that social interaction, that connection, that knowledge. Because when we train on the products and a customer says to us, you know, I have oily skin or I have dark circles, what do? We could then help them. So it's not like a situation, you guys all have walked into the drugstore where it's aisles and aisles and aisles of beauty product, and you're like, I don't even know where to start. What is the difference between all of this stuff? When you shop with an Avon rep, we kind of narrow down the choices for the person. So we help in that respect too. So when you're thinking about the mogul mindset, you're reaching out and helping people with their needs. So you have to do more than be an order taker, as we always talk about. You have to work with the relationships. You have to talk to people and build relationships. The next thing that I was thinking about was, we kind of talked about it. So step one would be to discover the need or find a niche. And step two would be to fulfill that need and serve that niche. So with Avon products, we are talking to the beauty community and we're providing the products that they are looking for. We're providing the services that they need, but we are serving our communities when we go out there. Even as small business owners, when we make money, our money is more likely to go back into our companies as opposed to some maybe international, as Georgiana, and I don't have a factory overseas. So when I'm employing, I employ locally. When I'm buying paper, I go to my local store to buy. When I'm buying supplies, I go to my local dollar store or whatever to pick up supplies for my basket. So we empower our communities as representatives. When I do fundraisers, I reach out to schools and organizations in my community to help them raise the funds. So we are fulfilling so much more within our community. We're doing so much more than just exchanging the dollar for the product. And we have to really work on servicing the niche. A lot of us, I think, I don't know if it's fear or anxiety, but it's like we don't want people to know that we're in business. And we're doing a disservice when we're not servicing people. We have to do more than just sell. First of all, if you want to be successful, you have to just sell to more than the 5 people in your family. But also, if you know that other people are looking for representatives, even if you don't want to service them, connect them to someone who will. If they're outside of your area and you don't deliver, fine. Have them order from your website, but help them to get the products that they need. Don't, just, oh, well, I don't do this anymore. I don't do that. Let me instead try and help them connect with another rep. Hey, Miss Jessica, how are you? Try to fill that person's need. Even if you're not a leadership representative, just don't tell people, well, I don't sign people up. Whatever. Help them get onto the website, connect to another leader, connect with a district manager, kind of hold their hand and walk with them a little bit. Do you guys remember way back when those new hardware stores were opening, and this is kind of a bad example because it's the big box against the little guy, but some of the big box stores were opening and a lot of people were complaining that you wouldn't get the same kind of customer service, and in the long run you ended up not. But one of the things that a lot of these stores implemented was that if a customer had a need, instead of saying yeah it's in aisle 52, bye, they would ask their employees to walk the customer to the location. And a lot of stores actually still do that, but it was a small, tiny change that allowed the customer to feel like, okay, I'm being helped, I'm being serviced. So we have to be intentional about providing our services. Just be intentional about how we serve our, not just our customers, but our communities. We have to take a step back and always kind of look at the bigger picture, because that will allow you to better grasp your situation. A lot of times we just have that tunnel vision. We're set on, getting our one potential customer to order from us, instead of just saying, okay, look, there are plenty of other people out there who are looking for Avon. They need their bug guard because summer is coming. They need their skin so soft for the mosquitoes. And they need their beauty balm. They need their lip gloss. They need their mascara. Instead of saying, okay, there are people out there that I need to get out to, they're just like, oh my gosh, I need to get this one person. This one customer doesn't want to order from me. This person told me that they don't like Avon. My whole customer base is over. If your customer base was relying on that one person, this was not going to work. You've got to go out and find other people. You've got to go out and provide a service to those people. One of the things I tell my customers is, and even when I'm doing events, the people who haven't ordered from me, I let them know that I mail my customers brochures. So if they move, they can still be serviced with a representative. If I move, they can still be serviced with a representative. And a lot of people will say, yeah, I like that, because when I left my job, I lost my Avon lady and I can't get my skin so soft, and things like that. So when, just by letting them know I'm here with you, this is my number, you can reach me, different ways to communicate, little things like that makes them feel comfortable. So more inclined to, maybe they don't purchase with me, maybe they go online and purchase another rep, whatever. As long as the business is succeeding, we all are. Hopefully they order with me though, of course, right? But, you know, keep that service in mind, because that finding that niche and fulfilling those needs will help you to build your little empire. You'll have your little customer base, your little your team that's growing, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's not going to happen if you're not providing the service. I don't care how many people you recruit, if you don't talk to, coach, mentor, train, and provide support for those people, you're just going to be, it's going to be like a revolving door, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. They're not going to stay around because they can't grow. There are going to be people who fall off your team. You're just not going to vibe with people, with some of them. Okay. But if you're just seeing this rotating door, then like Miss Hope said, start working on some of the things you're doing. See how you can provide a better service to your community, whether it be your customers or your team or your actual local community. And the last thing that I was noticing with these people, and this is kind of my favorite thing, I've noticed it in a couple of different areas, but it's that these people weren't afraid of sales. A lot of the descriptions that I was reading, these big multi-billionaires were in sales. They're selling different products. Maybe they're selling on a larger scale, but they're still selling. And I always say, even in architecture, we're selling ourselves. We're selling a service to design. We're selling the skills and education that we received, so that we could provide the needs for the clients in a design aspect. So whatever business you're in, I really try to think of something that we usually don't associate with sales, but I couldn't, because I was like, whatever you do, you're selling. If you're an employee of a person, the fact that you keep your job, you have to sell yourself. You have to sell your skills as an employee. You have to sell your willingness to work. If you show up and you don't know what you're doing, they're gonna fire you. If you show up and you're like, you don't want to be here, you don't want to work, you have a bad attitude, you don't get along with the other coworkers, whatever. If you're not contributing, you're not gonna keep your job. So you sell yourself every day. You let your employer know what your skills are. You let your employer know that you're useful and that they can rely on you, that you're dependent. But it's sales. And I was reading this list and I was going down, this person is marketing this IT product. This person is marketing computers. This guy is marketing different chemicals that are used in building something else, whether it's oil, steel, powder, lotions, whatever it is. Their company is based on the sales of that product. If nobody buys it, the company doesn't make any money. But I'm like, sometimes we're just so afraid to say that we're salespeople, that we're in sales, that we're business people, we're entrepreneurs. And I don't know why, because the sales are in everything. There's no exchange of money if there's no sale. Our country runs on the sale of goods. We're a commodity. We're based on commodities. The consumers purchase a product. The product goes into the economy. It circulates because you buy a coffee. That coffee money goes to pay the employees. The employees use that money to go out and buy food. The grocery store that they bought the food from employs managers. It employs stock people. It employs cashiers. It employs truck drivers who are bringing the products back and forth. And it employs the farmers who are producing the product. The farmers get that money. They go out and they buy seeds. And, or they're buying food for their family. You can't grow everything. The guy who grows the corn may not, raise the cows. So if he wants to do a barbecue, he needs the corn and the burgers. So he's going to spend, and it just kind of goes around in the economy. So I was reading that and I was like, we have to stop being afraid to tell people that we're in sales. We are a business just like anyone else. And how we present ourselves, how we speak about ourselves, I don't care what other people think, because at the end of the day, when we are making money and when we are successful and we are providing for our families and we are giving back to the communities, we are on par with every other business out there. We are just as legitimate as every other business. And a lot of people want to look down on small business owners or people who are part of direct sales and multi-level marketing businesses as if you're less than. And I'll tell you, I went to an event the other day, and I had, it was like a women's networking meeting that I went to, and I let them know I'm an architectural designer and an Avon representative. And the woman was kind of like, you could tell her demeanor changed. She kind of bristled, like, oh, well, we usually don't like the direct sales companies to participate because we don't want, the recruiting of people. But, maybe if you talk about being an architect, then that'll be okay. And I was just like, I don't want to be in this meeting if you don't accept me as I am, and if you don't think my business is legitimate enough, because the skills that I work on as an architect are the same skills that I work on as an Avon lady, and the business management skills that I work on as an Avon rep are the same things that are put into my business as an architect, because we're both dealing with money, we're both dealing with clients, and you may be so focused on me recruiting your people, but not for nothing, lady, I don't want you now minding behind on my team. I can't deal with that. So I was kind of appalled and taken back, especially because it was an event that I paid for. And when we sat down and we were having the discussions and the conversations, a lot of the other people were like, they were all in sales. There's one lady who was selling wine. There's another lady who was making stuff to sell. There's another lady who was a personal coach and developing. And they were all selling and recruiting. They were all trying to get people to buy their product. And I sat there like, what kind of BS is this, where just because I belong to a bigger company, I can't share and talk about my products? So I did. And I was like, if this is going to be the last time that I'm here, so be it. But I'm going to say what I need to say. And a lot of the issues that we had as small business owners were the same. We were talking about the same issues of, finding customers and servicing our customer base, and how to present the products, and how to network, and how to blog and vlog, and advertise and personally promote ourselves. And it was the same, from the lady who was the personal coach, to the lady who was knitting her own stuff at home, to the lady who had developed a product, to the woman who was a lawyer. We were all in sales. And I learned it in that moment, and I kind of felt like I knew it before, but I was just like, look, we're all doing the same selling. This is all marketing. The architect has no right to look at the Avon lady, or the Avon has no right to look at the doctor and say, oh no, you don't know, you're not this, that, and the other thing, because it's the same. The doctor, if you start a doctor's firm, a doctor's office, and you have no customers, you're out of business. It is what it is. You have to sell your service to the clients in the same way that the Avon lady has to sell the products to her clients, in the same way that the grocery store, the grocer, has to sell his product to the people in the community, in the same way that the farmer has to sell his products to the grocery store. We're all just doing sales on different levels. So guys, get over it. Like, get over the fear of sales. Get over letting people know what we do. There's nothing to be ashamed of it, because we are making money. And that's what being a business owner is about. We are making money on our own time, on our own schedule, with ourselves as a boss. That is something to be proud out loud about. And I've kind of come a long way to come to this. And sometimes it's a struggle. Sometimes I get into those situations and I'm just like, okay, here we go. It's another person who has no idea what direct sales is. They have in their mind what an Avon lady should look like, or what a salesperson should look like. And they picture someone with a suitcase, chasing people, asking them to buy. And I don't chase people, because people like my product. And when they see my little Avon button and they connect that name with the Skin So Soft, they come to me. Or when they see my jewelry and my clothing and my shoes or my makeup, and I will tell you, I am not a, makeup artist, trained or untrained at all. I am not a stylist at all. But, you get a little compliment here and there. Those people, when they realize what I have to offer and they're looking for it, they come to you and they'll purchase from you. Just, I think yesterday morning, I rolled up behind a lady. She had a cute little jacket on, and I was like, where did you get that from? It's gorgeous. And she was like, girl, I have it in 3 different colors. The store that she had it, they had it she bought every color that they had. And I was laughing because she was speaking so adamantly about this product because she loved it and she wore it well. She walked with elegance and grace. And let me tell you, if she was selling jackets, I would have bought one. So it's, there's nothing wrong with sales, and we really need to just get over that mindset of being afraid of sales and promote our businesses out loud. Like, we don't have to stalk people. We don't have to bombard people, but in the same way that you have people in your family who are doctors and lawyers, let people know what you do. Let people know that you're being successful in it. Let people know that you're tracking towards your dreams and your goals and that you're enjoying it. Share that on your social media and when you're speaking with people. And they will, it'll change their mindset about what their idea of the Avon lady is. And a lot of people tell me that, like, you don't act like a salesperson, or you don't act like an Avon lady. I'm like, what does a salesperson act like? What are they doing? Because I share the brochures, I wear the product. Like, what do you expect from me? And they're like, oh, you're not chasing me, you're not beating me over the head, you're not asking me to buy all the time. And I'm like, have you ever seen doctors and lawyers and architects and other salespeople chasing people to come and shop with them and buy with them? I don't have time for that. I am working with the people who like my products, and I have enough of them to, work with. So if you don't want to buy from me, that's quite fine. You may not like Avon. That's okay. There are enough people out there that I can go and find people. And this was not on my list of things, but it comes from the mentality of lack. If you're operating in a mindset where you're like, okay, there are only 5 people out there. These are the people that I had on my who do you know list that I thought were going to buy from me, and then they didn't buy from me, so I'm not going to do well in this business. There are so many people out in the world. Go find them and let them know that you're in business. Leave them a business card, leave them a book. Sometimes, I'll be honest with you, I'm bad. And I have my Avon button on, but maybe I don't have a book, or maybe I don't have a card. Sometimes I'm not expecting to meet a person. I'm going out with my existing friends, so I just have like my cell phone, my wallet, my keys, little things like that. But when I introduce myself, I'm an architectural designer and an Avon representative. I sell beauty and skincare, and we talk about it, and I share how the business is changing and growing and how I love it, and my trips to Tahiti, when people ask how I'm doing, and I share, I just share what I'm doing. And a lot of times people will say, oh, I like Avon, or my mom likes Avon. Can I have a book? Can I have a website? Can I have an email? Can I give you a call? Can I place my order? And that's how businesses grow, because that's how networking is done. So don't be afraid of the fact that you're in sales. Be proud about it, and work it just like you would any other business, because they're in sales too. And if they're looking at you and turning up their nose, tell them about themselves and let them know that they're in sales as well, so that they can, kind of just come down a couple of notches and get out of the clouds and just know what's what, because it's all sales. Nobody functions without sales. That's just how you get money in this economy. That's just how it works. So those are my topics for your mogul mindset. Just be strong in knowing that you're providing a great service, you're fulfilling a need in your community, and when you're doing it, do it well, and be proud about it, because there's nothing to be ashamed about in making good money with a legitimate business as an entrepreneur. I've met lots of people who are selling stuff that has me confused, and they are super gung-ho about it, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, let's do this. I don't know what this is, but I love your energy. That's how we should be as well. So I hope you guys are encouraged by this. I kind of went over my time, but it's because I took longer in the beginning talking about the Avon Vacation Like a Boss incentive. But thank you guys so much for joining. As always, the conversation continues in the chat box below, sometimes for days. But if you comment or ask questions, even if it's not related to this topic, me and the other ladies will get on there and we'll answer and we share, but the conversation keeps going. And for those of you who who weren't able to get onto this live stream because maybe we don't know each other yet, introduce yourself, friend me. But also, if you want to share with your teams, I am going to be posting this video to YouTube after so that you can share with, sometimes they're representatives who just aren't on Facebook, so they can watch on YouTube as well. So thank you guys for joining me. And as usual, we'll be back here 8 p.m. next week, Tuesday, same time, same place. I hope you guys have a wonderful Easter. I will be posting and hopefully blogging about the new goodies that I got and my brand new Easter dress. And hopefully I get to be seeing some pictures from you guys as well. So have a great evening. Thank you guys for joining and participating, because you guys make this call awesome. And I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.